12 months ago, I took a risk and launched Milky, an OnlyFans management agency and consultancy. In less than a year, Milky has already generated over $2.5 million in profit, and we're on track to double that in 2025. We've also helped other agencies make hundreds of thousands of dollars through our marketing and operations consulting arm, and as a result, I've learned not just from my own trial and error, but from some of the most successful OFM agencies in the industry. In this video, I'll share exactly what led me to start this business, the specific strategies that fueled our explosive growth, and the 3 most crucial lessons I've learned that you can incorporate into your agency today. Before Milky, I built a business I hated, a topic for another video, and I learned a lot of lessons. Luckily, I managed to secure a 7-figure exit before it drove me into an early grave. I took a full year off of working to think about what I wanted to do next. And when I decided to start a second business, I knew it needed to have 3 qualities. 1, it needed to be completely bootstrapped. I wanted 0 debt and 0 outside investment. I wanted to start it with nothing but the money in my pocket, grow it with nothing but revenue the business itself produced. 2, I needed to be able to do it solo. I've always preferred to work alone, and whether Milky was a success or a failure, I wanted to win and lose on the strength of my own ideas. I also didn't want to share equity, 100% ownership and 100% responsibility. 3, it needed to be fully digital. I wanted to be able to source employees from a global talent pool, but I prefer to live in remote areas away from cities. If I started a business that was geographically constrained, I'd have to make a sacrifice. As it turns out, there isn't a lot of 10x talent in the middle of the woods in South Dakota. As one might imagine, I was having a hard time finding a path that checked all 3 boxes. I wanted nothing to do with my previous business. A bulk of my professional background is in industrial engineering and logistics, which has monstrous capital requirements, is impossible to do solo, and is perhaps the most physically constrained business in existence. I had successfully sold products and led sales teams for B2B software companies, and theoretically I had the ideas and the capital to start a software company, but I have no software development background, so there's no way I could have done it alone. While I was running in circles trying to figure out what to do next, purely by chance, I met an independent OnlyFans creator. I had heard of the platform, but I knew nothing beyond the absolute basics. It was an adult site where users could pay for content. We had a long, very interesting conversation where she shared that she was making around $2,000 a month, but she was rapidly losing followers and revenue due to her inability to stay consistent and develop a cohesive marketing strategy. After that conversation, I realized that this might have been the opportunity I was looking for. It satisfied all of my conditions. First, OF costs nothing to start. Promotion can be done entirely with organic social media, and OnlyFans as a platform charges nothing besides 20% of what you make on it. Second, I could do it easily without a partner. OnlyFans had already built the distribution network, so all I needed to do was sign creators and deliver results. I knew most of the skills required were ones that I already had a high degree of proficiency in. I would just be applying them to something new. Business is business, after all. And 3, every element of the business, front to back, was totally digital. This was a job I could do not just from a cabin in the woods, but from anywhere in the world. Freedom to travel and live wherever I wanted. I didn't even realize at the time that OnlyFans management was an existing business, but nonetheless, I was confident that I would be able to put my skills and knowledge from the traditional business world to use. That creator became my first client, and today, she makes over $200,000 a month and is still growing fast. How we got here, and you can too. If you're new to OFM or you're an established agency that's hit a revenue plateau, pay close attention to this part of the video. There is, of course, a lot that happened between signing a single creator making $2,000 a month to creating a multi-million-dollar profit engine. I made a ton of mistakes. When I started, I didn't even know chatters were a thing, so for the first few months, my first creator and I split chatting duties, and she made most of her money on live streams and mass message PPV. I was truly starting from 0. I'm probably going to do a separate video on the biggest mistakes I made and how to avoid them, but for this video, I want to focus on the 3 major things that I got right and how you can replicate them to start very far ahead of where I did. First, fully commit. In the beginning, I was only working with creators part-time. I had a full-time job for a fintech company with a comfortable but unexciting salary cap. We had grown our account from $2,000 a month in revenue to $15,000 in our first month, but quickly plateaued, largely because I wasn't investing enough time and resources into studying the business of OnlyFans management. Remember, I didn't even know it existed as an established industry. In June of 2024, I decided to quit the fintech job and lean fully into OnlyFans management. So I launched Milky because I realized the upside was too high for me to continue to half-ass it. I focused on learning everything I could about the fundamentals of OnlyFans management: customer psychology, maxing LTV, software tools that high-performing agencies were using, how to hire and train chatters who could generate outsized returns, and most importantly, advanced organic social media marketing strategies specific to adult content. More on that in the third tip. The results were immediate and dramatic. In September of 2024, just 3 months after going full-time, we had our first $100,000 month. 3 months after that, she crossed the $200,000 monthly threshold. If you're currently managing creators part-time while working another job, this is your wake-up call. The difference between part-time and full-time focus isn't linear, it's exponential. The creators who make millions don't have part-time managers. Second, choose your creators wisely. One of the biggest mistakes many agencies make at all stages of growth, not just beginners, is signing any creator with a pulse and an Instagram account. I'm going to explain why this is a terrible practice with a short story. Imagine you have 2 creators you're thinking of signing contracts with. Let's call them Mary and Jane. For the sake of simplicity, let's assume Mary and Jane are of equivalent attractiveness, and neither of them currently have an OF account or experience in the intimacy industry. Mary is hesitant. She knows OF could be good money, but she doesn't want to show her face in content or promote OF on her personal Instagram for fear that her friends and family might see. She already has a full-time job, and she's willing to spend maybe 5 to 10 hours a month creating content. For her, OF is just a potential side hustle. Jane, on the other hand, is enthusiastic about doing OF. She is more than happy to use all of her existing social media channels to promote OF, and she's ready to do OnlyFans and produce promotional content as a full-time job. Most agencies in this position would say, well, fuck it, I'll sign both creators. 2 means more money. Wrong. Since Mary wants to go faceless, she's going to require more time, more resources, and creativity to promote. And you'll probably have to use paid ads and less effective alternative platforms like Reddit. Growth will be slow, she won't produce anywhere near enough content for you to promote her effectively, and inevitably her ex or her mom or some gooner she works with is going to find a picture of a tattoo or some other distinctive feature she forgot to cover up, and Mary is going to quit. Even if by some miracle you manage to secure a profit before that happens, it will be a meager one. More likely, you'll lose money. Conversely, Jane is motivated. She's not ashamed of the job. You can promote her on all of the biggest social networks, and with a little bit of training and guidance, she'll churn out more adult and promotional content than you're able to process. Her OF will grow quickly, she's much less likely to quit, and over her career, if you nurture the relationship and come up with a solid promotional strategy, she's going to make hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars. Your time is precious and finite. Do not spend it on Marys. If you work 60 hours a week, spend all 60 hours on the creator with uncapped upside, not splitting it 50-50 with the one who has uncapped downside. This sounds so obvious when you phrase it this way, but when you're getting started, and especially before you sign your first creator, it's very easy to get excited about anyone who's willing to work with you. I have no problem acknowledging that I got very lucky with my first creator. She already had some experience, but she was eager to learn, hardworking, and was willing to try new things and take risks. She has a unique appearance and personality, and I knew from day one that she was worth believing in and putting 100% of my effort into. I have no doubt that she's going to continue to be wildly successful, not just on OF, but in whatever she decides to do in social media, and continue to generate millions in revenue for us both. Long story short, you should only consider taking on creators who are enthusiastic about doing OF, have a strong work ethic, and ideally have the appearance and personality to make millions over the course of their career. The third and final tip, be laser focused on organic social growth. If you only take one lesson from this video, it should be this. Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, and YouTube are free advertising platforms with global reach. There has never been a greater opportunity to put your product in front of billions of eyes. OnlyFans is a mass market product, and your objective is generally to reach as wide of an audience as possible. For the price of $0, you can push a product with functionally infinite demand, the promise of sexual gratification, to every human being on Earth with a smartphone and a sex drive. Few understand how utterly absurd this opportunity is. Yet for some inexplicable reason, so many agencies spend all of their resources trying to do anything and everything other than get good at organic social. They will waste tens of thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars to figure out how to create complicated systems to pump out dog shit content, buy paid ads that don't convert, and hire third-party contractors to manage low-leverage alternative platforms like Reddit. That first creator I mentioned, the one that makes over $200K a month, she has one TikTok, a primary Instagram account with 2 backups, and a Twitter. We use one social media scheduling tool that costs less than $30 a month to manage all of those accounts. Every dollar she has ever made through OF was generated purely through organic social promotion, and our only costs are one-time indirect spend on equipment like cameras, lighting, and outfits. Simply put, If you are not spending a majority of your time learning how to utilize the big social media platforms to their fullest potential, you are making a strategic error that will cost your agency millions in the long run. Quick plug here. If you'd rather pay someone to handle organic social for you, you can hire Milky for creative direction. We've helped other agencies do everything from launch a new creator to a $50,000 first month to helping veteran creators hit their first million. If you have a creator that you believe has uncapped potential, but you don't have the time or creative juice to fully realize that potential, book a free one-on-one initial consultation with us at milky.media/agencies. Hopefully you found this video helpful and you walk away with some actionable insights that you can use to grow your agency. As a quick recap, your 3 big takeaways from this video should be 1. Full send. Do not half-ass it. Not everyone is going to make $1 million in year 1, but anyone with a functional brain can make 6 figures if they commit. 2. Focus on finding high-quality creators with huge potential. You'll leave more money on the table working with 20 mediocre models than a single creator who is ready to commit as hard as you are. 3. Master organic social media. This is the single highest leverage skill you can learn in this business. Anyone can create an OF girl who spends off $5K a month, whatever. The most profitable agencies in the world make superstars. There's not a lot of good information about OFM out there. I make all my content specifically to help OFM agency owners learn more about their industry and grow their businesses. And I try to share tools, tactics, and techniques that you simply will not find anywhere else on YouTube. By subscribing, you ensure that you don't miss anything we upload. Feel free to suggest future video topics in the comments. I'm making these for you, so I want to cover things that you want to learn more about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.